What are you doing on Tuesday the 26th of September 2023? Because myself and Francesca Amber are coming to the Barbican Hall in London. Our event is called One Night Stand, and this one night event is all going to be about manifestation, crystal healing, and ridding your limiting beliefs to help you achieve your goals. We've curated an immersive experience that will leave you feeling inspired and empowered. Throughout the evening as well, we'll also have interactive exercises, we'll have empowering discussions, and the opportunity to connect with like-minded individuals on a similar journey towards personal growth and manifestation. There'll even be an opportunity for you to ask questions as well. This event is your chance to break free from the shackles of self-doubt and unleash your inner greatness. It's time to release those limiting beliefs that might be holding you back and step into your true potential. And if you want to come on your own, by all means do that. Single tickets are available and seating is totally unreserved, so you can even meet up with your spiritual friends and sit with them as well. Head to @CannyCrystals on Instagram and click the link in my bio. Tickets are limited, so secure your spot and be part of this transformative experience. Don't miss out on the chance to manifest your dreams and achieve your goals. We can't wait to see you there. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Canny Crystals, the podcast. I hope that you're all alright. I'm having such a bloody hectic week this week, so you might have seen on my Instagram or my stories or just even remember me talking about it on last week's episode, but I've been to view some office spaces this week, and even before I went to view them, I kind of visualized, what they'd be like, and I tried visualizing the perfect office space for me. So much so that I was sat there clutching me Moldavite and me prophecy stone, smiling away at myself, imagining me packing orders in this beautiful decorated room with music playing, the sun shining through the windows. And as I pulled up at a couple of these offices that I've been to view, I didn't really feel anything, and they were just very meh. But the third one that I pulled up at, and this is down the quayside and it's amazing, I just instantly got that little buzzing feeling in me tummy, like a feeling of, kind of excitement and kind of knowing that it was going to be that one before I'd even set foot in the building, and I just knew it was right. Anyway, I walked into this gorgeous, newly renovated reception area and I was met with a smile straight away. I instantly knew that that was for me. I was shown to a few different offices. I fell in love with this one that overlooks the communal garden. It's on the cooler side of the building because the offices at the front get quite hot with the water reflecting on the window. And I just had visions of me candles melting away and stuff, and I was like, there is no way I can deal with a hot office. Anyway, to top it off, there was a gigantic communal kitchen and diner. It has free food and free drink. There's lots of breakout areas for meetings and going on calls, even showers in the toilets, in case I wanted to cycle. I'm not going to cycle, but in case I ever wanted to cycle. And when I asked if I could bring my dog into the building, I was told that there were about 10 other dogs in the building too, and if it gets too busy, they'll take them out for a walk for us. I felt like I'd really struck lucky with this place. But yeah, I showed me interest. They said that they would let me know the price, and off I went home to await their email. Now, you better believe that as soon as I got home, I hopped on my bed, I whacked on my subliminals, I meditated, I visualized being pleasantly surprised at the price, moving in all my belongings, and just generally trying to picture what it would look like and how I would have laid it all out. And about an hour later, I got this email stating that the office I'd shown in had been slightly reduced, it was slightly cheaper than all the others. When you just feel like the universe is listening to you and delivering? So yeah, I got that new office space on the quayside, right on the riverfront here in Newcastle for £400 a month. That is less than my bloody mortgage. I might as well move into the office space and live there, actually. It's got a shower and everything. But yeah, I've spent the last few days measuring up, buying random shit like fake plants. You've got to have some aesthetics. And I mean, if I'm going to be doing podcasts from there, I really want to put my podcasts onto YouTube. So I've got to have some aesthetics. So I've bought shitty fake plants, desks, chairs, shelving, storage tubs, Jesus Christ, you name it, I've bought it this week. And now it's all due to be delivered this weekend coming, and I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to lie, I am stressed a bit. I almost, like, this is stressing me out. I almost didn't even do this podcast, right? It's Thursday night. I'm just looking at the clock. It's Thursday night. It's 11 p.m. right now. This podcast goes live in 1 hour, so I'm not even going to have time to edit it. So if I fuck up, I fuck up. It's going out as it is, but I'm also probably going to be up until 3 or 4 a.m. packing orders and doing tarot readings too, because I'm off to London for the weekend tomorrow lunchtime, and I've just seen a notification on my phone as I'm recording this saying that everything that I've bought for the new office is getting delivered on Saturday, and I'm not going to be here. Fun fucking times. My next door neighbours are going to hate me. They're going to have like 200 kilos of bloody heavy equipment. Anyway, I'm off to London to see Lady Gaga, so that's a positive. It was a present from Johnny that he got me for my birthday back in March. And coincidentally, I've only just learned this week as well that it's also the same day as the Rock and Gem show in London, which is all like crystals and like spiritualism and things like that. So I'm like, can I drag Johnny to look at crystals on the morning before we go to Tottenham Stadium for Gaga? Probably not. But if you're listening to this and you're going, let me know what it's like, because I've heard that it's coming to Newcastle in a couple of weeks' time, and I'm really curious to see if it's like worthwhile going. But yeah, drop me a message if you are going to the Rock and Gem show this weekend in London. Or drop me a message if you're going to see Gaga as well. Let me know. I'll give you away from the front, because I'm going to be crushed against that barrier trying to smell what she had for breakfast. And something else I've had going on this week as well. I finally got myself a proper accountant sorted. An accountant. That's how I know, like, I'm special. And it's someone that I've known for years, so I know he's not going to, like, screw us over. So I arranged a call with him the other day to talk it all through and see what he could do for us. And guess what? One of the first things he told me was that I was in breach. Obviously, I know what the word breach means, but I have no idea what it means in terms of tax. Anyway, it turns out that I probably should have registered for VAT a long, long time ago. Oopsie. And I just hadn't, because I'm clearly a clueless cockwomble. But anyway, my accountant is now going to look after all of that for me, and I've had to send off copies of my birth certificate, my passport, my driving license. I think at this point the only thing I haven't sent him a picture of is my arse cheeks, but it's all in hand. And yesterday, Canny Crystals officially became Canny Crystals Limited. Can you believe? Canny Crystals is now Canny Crystals Limited. I'm now an official limited company instead of just a sole trader. I've got no fucking idea what that means, but it sounds fancy, right? And I've even got a business bank account now as well, instead of just 2 random bank accounts with my name on them. So my business account actually states Canny Crystals Limited rather than just me. You know, when you just feel like things are moving at 1,000 miles an hour? Well, that's pretty much how I feel right now. But all that being said, I am loving life. I'm high on life, so I'm rolling with it. I'm just letting it wash over me. And I thought, while I'm rolling with it, I'll do something to spur me towards my next goal. So if you listened to the pod before, you'll know that I've been trying to manifest a Range Rover for quite some time now. I think probably like I'd say the past 7 or 8 months. And it's been on and off, like, because Johnny's not into cars and things like that. So I've got no one to, like, bounce the ideas off. And, like, I show him, like, a picture of it. And I'm like, isn't this a beautiful car? And he's like, it's a car. And he doesn't get it. But anyway, I thought, let's go while the ball's still rolling. Let's call up, like, Range Rover and book in for a test drive. So on their website, you can build your own car with the spec you want, and you can add bits on, you can take bits off. It's basically like it'll change the price that you pay the more you change things. So I think every day for the last week or so, I've been playing around, putting tinted windows on, changing the alloys, trying to decide which colour I like best. Never in me entire life have I ever felt more like a lad. Oi, oi. Anyway, something I said in last week's episode about why do we stop manifesting once we receive our goals. Something about that struck a chord with you all, because you all messaged me saying that you've had the same experience too. You'll reach your goals and then you just stop manifesting. You stop visualizing, you stop meditating for months on end until you reach a point that you're unhappy, and then you start again. And we all know that manifesting comes from a place of happy, not desperation. So I thought, let's keep the ball rolling. I'm still on a high from manifesting this £30,000 in 30 days from last week's episode. So I booked myself a test drive for next Saturday on a Range Rover Velar. Is it Velar? Velar? Anyway, I'm trying not to let the price put us off because, quite frankly, it's a quarter of the price of my house. And even with a ridiculously high deposit put down, the monthly payments were still more than my mortgage payment. They were about £750 a month. And I just think that's absolutely insane. It's ridiculous. So I'm not thinking about that because I don't want to define to the universe the how I'm going to get this £50,000 car. I just want the universe to know that it's coming my way. And I want to stay in that high vibe, just knowing that I could even so much as win this car through a competition or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So just by booking this test drive, it's either going to do one of two things, okay? So one, I'm either going to realize that I fucking hate this car and it's not nice to drive and I've wasted the last year of my life being superficial and materialistic craving a car. Or two, it's going to allow me to feel those feelings of joy and happiness and feeling wealthy. And I'm going to what's the word? I'm going to live in the moment kind of thing. And I'm going to baste in the sauce. And that'll put a smile on my face and that'll let me experience that pure bliss, which will then send out that frequency to the universe that will eventually bring that car to me in some weird way. Does that make sense? Fingers crossed anyway, without me having to pay £750 a month for it, because I'm not. And also, I just wanted to mention as well that as I'm recording this, today, Thursday, 28th of July, here in the UK today is the new moon in Leo. And new moon energy is good for a day or two, either side of the specific time. So if you're listening to this on the day of release, on the Friday, feel free to do this as well. But just write down 3 goals that you want to achieve in the next month and really feel and live in that end product to the point that when you visualize, you should be tearing up with how happy you are. Because you better believe that I'm writing down that I want a £50,000 month, I want a Range Rover Velar, and I want a new staff member to help me pack my bloody orders. 10 hours a day at the minute I'm spending packing orders. I'm on top of them, so if you do order, your order will be dispatched within 24 hours, but my God, there's just so many of them. I'm loving it though, so keep them coming. And speaking of wanting a new staff member as well, I've got Level Up Social starting this Monday. I've spoke about them in the last couple of episodes, but they're finally starting this Monday and they're already making my life an absolute breeze in terms of the content that's going out. So they basically assign me tasks on this app and it'll be like, Mark needs to record himself saying, this crystal can help you with love. And then he needs to record himself showing off a crystal that'll help with love. And then I just add them to a shared photo album on iCloud on my phone. And they grab them at their side, they edit them, they whack the music on, they whack the captions on, the hashtags, they schedule them to go out the most efficient time, they look at the most efficient hashtags. I honestly did about a week's worth of content with them in about 40 minutes. How amazing is that? Like, such a time saver. I was buzzing with myself, like, what a lifesaver. So, Aurelia and Catriona, if you're listening, thank you so much. But even just not having to think about the content, they think of the ideas. So this just allows me to be creative in the other areas of my business that I can focus on. Like, I don't know, the manifestation journal that I started back in February and never bloody finished. Or the courses that I'm halfway through. So yeah, all will be well. Once I've moved into my new office, I've been to see Gaga, I've started with the social media girlies, and I've got someone to pack me orders, peace will be restored. And you never know, I might actually have a bloody life again. So yeah, I've got a little time of this podcast episode left. We're about halfway through. So I'm going to utilize it to answer your questions on subliminals because Jesus Christ, on a bike, you lot love to question me about subliminals. Every day I'm waking up to at least 10 emails or DMs about them, and it tends to be the same kind of questions. And I've noticed that since I spoke about Moldavite on last week's episode, I've had no messages about Moldavite this week. Woo. So let's see if the same works for subliminals, and let's just see if you're all listening to this. So let's go back to the beginning. What are subliminals? So I have a description on my website that states what they are. So it says subliminals are audio messages set on a higher frequency and at an increased speed, wherein your conscious mind can't recognize them, but your subconscious mind is recording everything and making plans to implement new ideas. These are played at a non-audible level so that they are only heard by the subconscious mind. Listening to subliminal audios is an effective way to tap into your subconscious mind. So, the subliminal affirmations that I've created on my website, basically, they've been designed to affirm messages of self-belief to your subconscious mind. And every single one of them, there's about 12 of them now, I think. I think every single one of them, the recording is 1 hour long. And ideally, you should listen to those with headphones at least once in full per day for 20 days for maximum impact, okay? Don't worry if you don't have headphones. Your brain will still decipher the message. It's just obviously, it finds it harder to listen. But if you have headphones, amazing. It finds it a lot easier to pick those messages up. So one of the most powerful times that your brain takes in information is whilst you're asleep, because it doesn't have lots of distractions. It doesn't have lots of other things that it has to work on, like your eyesight or, like your hands moving around and things like that. So one of the most powerful times for your brain to take in information is while you're asleep. So basically, feel free to listen to these subliminal affirmations as you drift off on a night, because it will be so good for you. Each audio contains soothing and gentle music. And when I say soothing or gentle music, sometimes it's whale noise. On other ones, I think it's just waves crashing with a piano playing. It's very, very chill vibes, okay? It's nothing like drum and bass or anything like that. It's literally just supposed to be like minimal music, just so that your brain isn't concentrating too much on the music, and it's just taking in the subconscious part, okay? So, like I say, soothing, gentle music, and that's basically over the top of me reading out very quiet affirmative statements, and that's just enough for your subconscious to pick up on, and they've been tailored to each individual goals. And like I say, I've put some new ones on there this week, so there are now 12 in total to choose from. The new ones include things like increasing your fertility, stopping procrastination, and exercise and weight loss motivation. And I did put a thing on my story asking if you wanted any others. And there was a couple of good ones that came out, like, stopping smoking and stopping vaping and things like that. So I am going to get to work on some of those next week as well. So I'll put them on as well. But there are others already on the website, including enhancing your wealth and abundance, boosting your luck, helping with anxiety, you name it. I've basically got yours covered, all right? But if you do find one that it isn't on there, and you think, oh, I would really benefit from this, Mart, just drop me a DM. By all means, send me a message, let me know, and I will try and do it for you ASAP. So subliminal audio is all about receiving these positive, affirmative messages just under the conscious threshold. So although you might not be able to hear clearly what's being said, that's normal. Your subconscious is listening and taking it all in. Because like I say, every day I'm waking up to maybe 10, 15 messages saying, I think your subliminals are broke. And I'm like, why is that? Well, I can hear the music, but I can't hear your voice. That's what subliminal means, okay? There is a sample video in the product images for you to listen to see if this is for you before purchasing. And then all you do is choose the subliminal affirmation that you want to download and add it to your basket. Your download will then be available for you to download and listen to on any compatible devices. You can listen to it on your phone, your tablet, your laptop, or even your new Range Rover if it's like compatible. Anyway, they are just £3. And if you use the code podcast at checkout, you'll also get 10% off everything at the website, okay? Each one is also packed with about 100 different affirmations in that category. So I'd be more than happy, like I said, to tailor them to another subject if you just let me know what you want. And if you don't believe me, check out the product page for the subliminals, because underneath the product description, if you scroll down, you can read some of the reviews, because they're honestly friggin' incredible. These subliminals are changing people's lives, and I'm living for it. I'm absolutely living for it. But yeah, please leave a review if you have one already and it's helped you. I am loving to hear all your stories. And I guess the last thing that I have to say is, this is a very short episode, and you're going to have to bear with us, because I'm sorry, guys. It is really late, and I do have shitloads to do. But yeah, the last thing I have to say is I did a restock on the website this afternoon, amongst everything else that I've got going on. Moldavite is now back in stock again. There are, I think there's about 20 different pieces, and also the Moldavite pendant necklaces are back as well. So feel free to go and check those out. Like I say, you can use the code podcast. You get 10% off everything. So if your piece of Moldavite is £100, you immediately get £10 off that. So you're grabbing an absolute bargain. And yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I have to say. I'm really sorry that this episode's been more of a life update than anything else, but I really didn't have anything planned. I'm really sorry. It's just been a hectic week, and I hope you can forgive me. On next week's episode, which was what I was going to do this week's episode on, but I haven't had time to do a bit of research and scripting and things like that. But I was going to talk about, and I will talk about it next week, I was going to talk about using specific language, because this is something that I get messages on all the time as well. I might as well be like Dear Deirdre, you know, from The Sun. Is she dead? Oh no, she's the one on This Morning, isn't it? Oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm losing the plot. I want to talk about the language that we use, like for affirmation statements and things, because people message me all the time and they're like, I don't think I've got my affirmation statements correct. Can you check the language? And it's kind of like if we say like, I don't want to spill this cup of coffee. Chances you're going to spill the cup of coffee because you're saying spill the cup of coffee. So all the universe hears is I want to spill this cup of coffee and I want to spill more cups of coffee. So yeah, I want to get into a chat about the language that we use when we manifest, because I think that'll really, really help you all to manifest your goals and desires. So that's what next week's episode is going to be about. It'll be about a few other things as well, as per usual. I don't just ever talk about one thing. I'm sure I've got ADHD. But yeah, thank you for joining me today. And oh my God, it's Friday. And Beyonce is releasing Renaissance. Go stream Renaissance by Beyonce, Act 1. You'll find it on all streaming services. And yes, I will see you all next week, hopefully in a less stressful state. And I'll probably be doing my new podcast from my new office, which I'm really, really excited about. Yeah, go check out the website, cannycrystals.co.uk. Use code podcast for 10% off. Please leave me a review. I really do appreciate it on Audible, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening to this from, you can leave a review. Thank you so much for listening to me. I'm so sorry that it's manic. This episode has been really, really manic, and obviously I haven't got time to edit it, and I'm about 4 coffees in, so I will be up until 3 or 4 in the morning. But yeah, I'll see you all next week, and have a lovely week, and I'll see you all next Friday. Bye guys. Come and join me in the Manifest with Mart community. For just £10 a month, you'll get exclusive access to my app, and you'll join all the other beautiful souls in the Canny community, where each day you'll be held accountable to making your dreams and desires come to fruition. You'll also be set daily and weekly challenges. There's a chat room built in so you can talk to people in real time, and you can also pop over any questions that you have in the Q&A forum and I'll answer them for you. It's changing people's lives, and we've already had so many people manifesting things in the first 2 weeks alone. Each new moon, I'll also be going live within the group on a face-to-face video to help you get the most out of the lunar cycles, as well as answer any burning questions that you have. And these live meetups are so powerful, and everyone in the group has had nothing but praise for the safe space that we share. There are very limited spaces for this community, however, just to ensure that I can place my focus on you and nurture you into the ultimate manifester. So if you'd like a spot, please be quick and reserve your seat now. Head to cannycrystalsacademy.co.uk and choose the Manifest with Mart option, where you can get instant access, and what's more, you'll also get access to all of the past recordings and chats too. Join now and start living the life of your dreams.